Okay, you are about to see a video. It's like, I don't know, it's gonna be over, it's probably like 50 minutes long or something by now. It's a bunch of clips from yesterday. I rode around town, Seaside Park, New Jersey. Starts with going over the bridge. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I want to quickly thank my subscribers, those of you who chipped in. Bobby, Semper Fi, dude, very cool. Robin and Patrick, awesome, thank you, and everybody else. It's a big deal. I elected not to stay at the hotel because it was even more money than I thought, and so I found a place to stay. But everything that you guys sent me is going towards this anyhow, because it's expensive to eat out and everything else. I know you guys know, and it's all good. But I'm very grateful for that. Just want to get that out of the way. That's all I'm saying. I'm a little out of it because I was up late last night, which I normally don't do. And today's Saturday, and tonight is the high school reunion. So stay tuned for all that stuff later. And I'll put a little tag on the end of this as well. Enjoy this. Turns coming into Seaside Park.
They painted the tower.
I needed it. It's Marty Lynch's old place.
Yeah, how much it cost to do that?
Well, I know how much it should cost. I'm home. It's beautiful here. There's a storm. There's like a hurricane that came through it. Oh, I'm with my friend Peg. She just want to get out of the car. You know how women are. There's a lot of people here, so forgive me. But I got to get a quick look at the beach here. We were just at the Windjammer happy hour. Had a drink. The memories of this town are amazing. Forgive me for the sound. The wind is going to be blowing into the mic. I'm going to try to cover it with my hand a little bit here. This is rare. This does not happen a lot. The water's coming all the way up to the dunes here. Tomorrow, the sun will be out. All this will be out. And there's New Jersey for you. Forked River. Right in the backyard. So Kimberly, tell me what the deal is with the leaking Jeep roofs.
You should be able to adjust these, which is the what is it? The hardtop. I don't know, mechanism. You should be able to adjust them back and forth, and up top you can see where the gasket is to see if there's any water coming in.
So you're saying all the people are complaining that these tops leak. It's because they don't know how to adjust this.
Probably.
All right. So Jeepers, some of you have new Jeeps and you post these videos of you with the things leaking. Now you know. Adjust the friggin' hinge and the clip system and it won't leak anymore. I'm in Seaside Park. I'm driving around. I'm seeing friends. This is the vehicle I'm borrowing. All right, this is pretty funny. I've been thinking about the Cherokee as a second vehicle anyhow. You guys will get a kick out of this, especially the LA people. And this is my buddy Roy. He was a really good guy. It's just funny that they put that on there because this is a piney truck here. We'll say it's not exactly safe. As a matter of fact, I just realized I don't even think that the registration is current. And look at this. It's the muffler's detached. These are hardcore 4x4 people. I was just visiting my buddy Bill here at this house, and I'm borrowing a bicycle. So I'm going to ride around town on that and shoot some video for you guys. Show you the hometown. I don't know if I'll get it all on today, but we just walked up and down in Seaside Park here and had breakfast at Betty and Nick's Bait and Tackle, which you should do. If you're in town, you want a good place to eat, go to Betty and Nick's. This should be fun. Right here was where the boat building used to be. So as I was telling you guys, when I first started doing construction work, this was Berkeley Marina. So right here where all these houses are, there's a big old boat building. And that's where I first started building furniture for the first time ever. That would have been like, oh geez, 87, 88. Here's the marina. And then where all those, all the streets up there, there's the old Grog Surf Palace and Seaside Park, Exxon, where they don't sell gas anymore. But right here where these tents are, that's where the condos were. They were building these condos there and the town stopped them. So this building here that looks like a bunch of waves, this is the old Grog Surf Palace building, all right? It wasn't first like that. The gas station's right there on the corner. It's just a service station now. And Grog's was just that little building there. And then in the 80s, they added the waves. Now I got a crazy story for you guys. I don't know if I told it before here, but... And I'm not proud of this. I was pretty hammered. It was in the 1980s, and I was walking by here at night after the bars closed. I got pretty hammered, and probably blocking the screen a little. And as I was walking by, the sign was down because they were painting the building, right? And I picked the sign up. And then I carried that sign across my back like Christ carrying a cross. Right up this street. Right from here. Right up this street. I think this is I Street here. So I carried this up here. By the way, the first aid squad's over there. Man, we're going to have to go back over there. Anyhow, I carried that sign up the street. I'm guessing how big it was, right? So it was 6'12". It was 18 feet long. It was about 18 to 20 inches tall. So I'm riding up the street and I see this guy, Don. Don's a mason and stonemason here. Does a lot of work in Seaside Park. And I got some crazy stories about this guy. It's friggin' wild. He's a funny old guy. I can't tell you the stories though, because they're adult stories. I mean, 10 minutes, I'm running into people. It's going to be crazy. Let me take you around the block, show you some houses I worked on over there, and then I'll finish the story about the Grog Surf Palace sign. All right, so this here is J Street, and I know a lot of people live in these houses here. That's the McIntosh house. And over here is the Triborough First Aid Squad, and our crew built that bump out right there where the two big doors are, right where the ambulance is parked. Did a lot of partying here as a kid in there, all in this block here. Lisa lived back there. And then this house right here. So these two duplexes, the gray one right there and the tan one right here. I built these two decks by myself. Hope the sound is good. This second level deck here is the first deck I ever built on my own. Of course, the railings have been replaced. So that one there, and then this here is the first house I ever worked on, right there. And that chase right there, right? When we put that chase in, it was right at the roof line. Okay, and just a funny story. Just a fun story for you guys. I had a bracket on the wall up here, and I had a plank going from the top of the chase right where it met the roof line there. It's pretty high. It's about 20 feet or so. And I had the plank going across the bracket, and I'm pulling the plank, and I'm pulling it under my arm. And as soon as the plank cleared the bracket, it catapulted me and shot me straight up in the air. And I went up like this and went face down. And somehow in midair, I had the presence of mind to spin my body around, and I landed on my feet right here in the sand. It's very different from what it looked like when we first built it. And I've got pictures. I'll try to find them and maybe insert them right here. I got a picture from this spot right here. And going into that door is this guy, Howard Fellner, that old guy I worked with as a World War II engineer. But I remember all this, man. I remember putting that 4x4 in on that 6x6. All of that is original from 1988. It could have been the summer of 1987 that we built this. We built this one here, and then we built the blue one. If you notice, you'll see on the second level there's 3 windows on the second level. But if you look at the blue one behind the tree over there, they're not there. And they're not there for a reason. When we built this house, I tried to tell them before we built the house not to put those windows in because there was no place to put furniture. You need a wall without a window to put a sofa or something up against. Right here one day, the cops knew me, but there was this one jerk cop at the time. And you see how that curb is painted yellow? The lady that used to live in this house, she was a real piece of work. And it used to be a parking space there. But she had them painted yellow all the way up because she didn't want people parking in front of her house. And one day it was painted. It didn't used to be painted. And I had this little VW at the time that I parked there. And I always parked it there. And I parked it there after it got painted. And the cop came by, this jerk cop, and gave me a ticket. And then he told me to move the car. I said, I'm never moving the car. I already paid for the space. I got a ticket there now. It just popped in my brain. Matter of fact, right here, that's a false chase in the center. So it's a duplex. There's a unit here, there's a unit there. But that chase right there with that cap on it, I'm pretty certain we left a 3 horsepower router up in there. And it's probably still there. Man, I remember this house too. There's just, it's just crazy. I can't, you know how it is. It's your hometown too. It's no different. You can drive around in every house you've got a story about, you know. For me, most of these houses I pretty much had sex in. That's pretty much what it was. It's changing a lot here though. All these houses are just, you can see all the construction going on behind me. It's really, it's kind of not cool. Okay, so here's I Street again, and this is where I took the sign and walked up here to the beach. And of course, remember, now the dunes weren't there then. And I walked up to the beach itself. And I'm gonna get some water here in a second, take a quick break with you, but I walked the sugar sand of the beach all the way down to North Ave, right into my apartment. So stay tuned, I'm gonna show you that. Okay, we're back at it. So, yeah, keep in mind now, we're gonna go, that's 1 block, there's 2 blocks. We're gonna count the blocks to North Ave, because I want you to picture me carrying this thing, again, like Jesus on the sand, this thing across my shoulders. Here comes 3 blocks. My buddy built that house, actually. This is F Street here, and these houses are still original. This one here and this one here. Actually, this whole block here is pretty good. All these houses have been pretty much the same since I was a kid. The one on the corner has been redone, but it's the same. This red one's been here forever. I think this was built in the late 50s. Pretty cool. This house here, this is 4 blocks now, if you're counting. Block 4. This block is this. This house is the same layout. They're just refacing it, which is pretty cool. It was all original up until now. It's an old cedar shake. This place is new, but they did it in an old style. It's very impressive. This place is original. That hasn't been touched. It still got the aluminum siding on it. Block 5. Well, actually, let me think here. This is D Street. Okay, here we go. So right here, this is block 6 now, if you're counting. This is my buddy's house. He just sold it last year. He got $2 million for it. It was one of the few houses that hadn't been redone. And now they're building this monstrosity here, which is pretty bad. This house here belonged to my girlfriend in high school. It was her grandparents' house. And he had been a World War II Marine. And I remember telling him I was going in the Marines, right there on that porch. This is original. This is the Sella's house. Anthony Sella. Anthony died a couple of years ago. And up on that porch, that guy, when he died, they found his stuff from World War II in the garage. And he was a Marine and fighting in the South Pacific. And they found a jar of gold teeth. So you know what that means. This is block 7. So we're 7 blocks into this walk. Keep in mind, imagine me walking along the beach in the soft sugar sand with an 18-foot sign about 1 inch thick across my shoulders. This corner block here, still the same. That hasn't changed, this house here. These are obviously new. This is where we check the surf usually in the mornings, all the fellas when I'm in town. This is North Ave. So 8 blocks. So I carry this thing 8 blocks over my shoulders. Keep in mind, I was drunk at the time. And this street's still in pretty good shape here. We got some cars behind us here, so we'll slow down. And up here, this is the Horners, I believe. Homer. The Homers lived over here. One of these houses. Hard to remember exactly which one. Now, this is my hometown here, people. These are the types of homes we've got here. Pretty great, pretty incredible. So keep in mind, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm hammered. And I do have a disappointment when we get up here. I saw this yesterday. Kind of a bummer. The mailbox that we talked about that I built, it's not here anymore. They must have just replaced it. But this house right here on the corner, I was living downstairs here for a couple years. And, oh, they put this in. So right there is the mailbox. Ah, such a bummer right there. This little metal mailbox. You've seen it before. That was the wood mailbox that I built, and I put that in 1988, and it's been here every year I come back. I can always come back and see it. The post is original. So the post and the piece of wood that mailbox is on is all still part of the original mailbox. They should have, nobody has any skills anymore. Nobody has any skills anymore. Such a bummer. Right next to the ice cream joint. All right, let's see what else I can show you. I also want to point, look how patriotic that place is. They love America here. Not a lot of Kamala voters here. This house right here, First Ave, that's the house I lived in, first house ever, right after I was born. We lived right here in this house. And then right here is that Windjammer Motel I was telling you guys about. And I talked to them. It was an interesting conversation. Like, the best deal he could give me, told me it was going to be like over $900. And he's like, oh, I'll go to $800. I think I'm staying with friends couch surfing. And the money that you guys sent me, thank you, was going towards the stay here as far as eating out and everything. So, but they've got a crazy bar in here. It hasn't been remodeled since it was built. It's very cool. You guys will see the inside of that, maybe not in this video, but soon. Here's the White Oak Liquor, the White Oak Market. Most of us worked at the White Oak Liquor at one time or another. I know I certainly did. Let's pop into the surf shop real quick. I don't think Mike's going to be here. He's still a little bit beat up. Right Coast Surf Shop.
Mike, when did you get here?
I got here yesterday. There he is. He's still here. He's still at the shop. Some of my subscribers helped you out on the GoFundMe. So the whole video on it. So yeah, there you go. He's doing good. He's going to be all right. Back up, jumping around, surfing, playing guitar and everything in no time. You'll be doing it.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Who you seen so?
Do you want to try? Oh, it's so hot because it was in the car.
Here we go.
Do you want to try to get up with this and I'll get your butt, or do you?
No, give me your hand and I'll get up.
But you should practice getting up with this
I
because I'm not
was.
always going to be there to get you up with my
It's
hand.
not, I can't do it yet. Getting close.
Well, just try. I'll help you.
1, 2, 3.
Muscles. See, you got it almost.
All right.
Kev, come stand next to me. I'm wobbling.
I'm literally already standing next to you.
I'm wobbling.
No, you gotta stand on the other side.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get on Izzy's side and just balance me back and forth. I have a tendency to sway back and forth still.
Okay, cool.
That's from the brain injury. Hey!
And here we go.
You didn't see her? What's wrong?
Don't distract him. Look at this guy.
This is as good as it gets right now.
Dude,
That's awesome.
that's pretty stinking good,
Not
though.
really doing much either.
You just gotta be there in case he loses focus.
Well,
The balance.
and he's just showing off now because he just got back from physical therapy. He probably shouldn't be doing this at all.
My balance is still off.
And by the way, somebody stole the Mike Z stickers from here. We got to replace those. I'm still pissed off about that.
Turn around, go back.
Dude, this is, light years from where you were a couple months ago. So
Bend your knee.
there you go. Look, I'll tell you what, you're doing good enough. We should just paddle out.
yeah, dude.
We should paddle out tomorrow.
You're so dry. You need lotion.
I'm just exhausted from the physical therapy session.
I can hear it in your voice. You got it. So here's the deal. I got to buy a couple t-shirts because I forgot to bring t-shirts with me on this trip. You guys should go to Right Coast Surf Shop online and buy some swag here. He's still getting into the chair. I could do a whole commercial by the time it takes him to get into that chair.
Turn the chair around, dog. Chair's right behind
He's
you.
got it.
Yeah. You know him, right? I met him at
Yes, sir.
It's as good as it gets right now.
That's pretty stinking good.
But
Oh, yeah, dude.
2 months ago, I couldn't do that.
Well, give me a thumbs up.
So,
This is Mike's daughter, Izzy, and she's a bartender at JR's in Seaside Heights. And what do you want to tell them? Where are they?
Come to JR's tonight, Friday, or Saturday.
and spend money and tip
But
her.
if you want to see me Friday.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to see her? Look at her. Va 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 boom.
Oh my God.
And there's Mike again. He's doing great. And listen, I said you can go to the website and order swag, but you can't. What you can do is go to Instagram. I'm going to insert a screenshot right here. Screenshot? A picture that you can screenshot. There's a bunch of information there and a phone number. So if you see something on the website, you can call up and you can buy it. It's very simple. It works great. It's modern technology and all that. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, Mike.
adios.
All right, that was amazing. Friggin' amazing. So right now we're on Central and 3rd. And the bait and tackle shop's right behind me. And this block right here, I'm going to ride around the block and talk about it because when I was a little kid, I couldn't go anywhere off of this block on my bicycle. And right here on the corner is condos now, but it used to be a store. And then right here, you'd walk into the corner of this little store, this little surf type store. You bought knickknacks and whatnot. And next to that was Joey's Pizza, which wasn't even there when I was little. And then next to that was my dad's bake shop. This was Elaine's Bakery right here. It's right across the street from the Seaside Park Elementary School. So all this was my dad's bake shop. I think the shop was here, and even this might have been part of the bake shop. No. Yes. And then this is the Blue Front liquor store. So I go in here, this old lady, Mrs. Villano, used to run the register there, and we buy the candy cigarettes and all that. And then right here is the Blue Front Market. So this is where you bought all your food. Well, it looks like they got some sort of mail thing going on. So this has been closed for a while, because I almost killed myself doing that. Let me ride us around the other direction here and come back around the block. I want to give it to you in order. Well, screw it. Let's just do this. There's the Park Bakery that is closing. It's already closed. They're going to sell that. The Park Bakery did not exist up until 1976, and that's the year my dad left town here and went up north with his business. So as a kid, this house wasn't here. These houses were here. These two here. And unfortunately, some of the cool stuff to show you just isn't here anymore. It's just not here. It's just a shame. But you get to see the construction here, the architecture of the old beach houses. Look at that add-on with the breezeway up there on the second floor. That wasn't always there. That's a relatively new thing. You can just imagine being a little kid riding your bike around the block here. So that middle house was my buddy's house. This house here on the corner used to be red, and that was the DePrume house. It doesn't look anything like what it used to look like. And my buddy Frank DePrume lived there. His dad, well, Frank DePrume Sr. was a cop in town, and he had two boys, Frank and Dominic, who were my two best friends when I was little. And we used to ride around this block, and Frank Jr. had the Schwinn pea picker, the green Schwinn. And then right here, this is the Guntner house. This is the guy who owned the marina. And it's crazy. It has a full basement that's fully done. And whenever we get crazy weather here, it would flood. So you don't want to, you can't go too deep here without flooding. So I think it was 10th grade, maybe junior year, me and Frank went up in the attic here, and I fell through the ceiling, one of my legs, and boy, his dad was pissed. We had to fix that. But that's when I first time ever was part of patching drywall. We had to go up on the beach because it was a sand. It was like there was like sand in the finish. So we went up and got beach sand right there and mixed it with drywall compound, patched it up, and had to repaint it after we had a guy patch it. It's a fun story from that time. Anyhow, this is the block. So that house was there. And then this is the main street here. This is 3rd. So this is the street. I was really up and down this street all the time. I did everything on this street. These houses were all there. These two here. This old house here, obviously. It's pretty crazy to see this, to be honest with you. It's just been so long. And these houses were not there. None of these houses were here. This was just kind of like shrubbery. Some overgrown trees. So it was fun to play in these yards. This house I don't think was there. This house here used to be between these two lots. So they picked it up and they moved it over so they could build one of these two houses. I think it's that one there. So as a kid, and this is all redone, by the way. That's not the original filigree on there. But as a kid, all the original stuff was there. It's all right. This house was not there. This house was, and this is a wild house. This was always such a cool house as a little kid, with that balcony up there. I mean, it's pretty, as a little kid, to see that house all the time. And he had a Porsche parked out here all the time, this guy. And then this house here was not there. This was an empty lot. But look at this. We gotta keep looking at this here. This was pure art. I think it's safe to say that this house here, and I can't remember the name of the owner. It's been a long time, and I'm pretty old now. I think that this house is responsible in large part for my imagination with homes, because this is so atypical of any type of normal house. Shit, I'm gonna fall off this bike. We're not cutting this out either. I mean, think about this. Look at how this is constructed. Look at the siding. You can see how well it's constructed. Look at the hearts up there. Look at the stuff in the windows. Got the old Schwinn parked here. That's not really an old one, that's a Chinese Schwinn. It just looks old because of the rust. And as little kids, we'd be running around here. Again, this house behind me wasn't here. And this sort of, the plants here with the pine tree and everything, that's native to the island, right? So that's what this was. It was like little woods here that we all ran around and played in. The beach is right there, man. So, you know, you're going to the beach. And it's funny because several years ago when I was coming back here, I'd run into guys that are older than me. And they're telling me, holy cow, I used to take you by the hand up to the beach. You know, it was great. Yeah, this is how you should build all houses. All houses should have this sort of imagination added to it. This makes me emotional to see. It's just beautiful. This little fenced-in yard, this is how it was when I was a little kid everywhere on the island. Most of the houses had these little yards, these little ecosystems in their yards. And then this house here used to be red, and this was Al Pinelli's house. And the whole downstairs was his shop. They put a real big porch on the back there. So this front door, it just goes right up the stairs, up to the second level. And man, this is the house where I joke around and I talk about this was my first ever like carpentry work, you know, first time working in the trades, because I was about 5 or so. And this little area here, this was behind the bake shop. Okay. So my dad's bakery was right here. And of course he'd make a bunch of noise, right? Ovens going and whatnot. This fence was never here. This fence was never here. And I remember, and actually, I think this is narrower than what it used to be. I believe the building used to come into like right about here. So there was a very narrow driveway here to deal with the backs of these buildings. And then I was playing with my buddy Dez here all the time. And so right in this door here was the shop. And so in the 80s, when I got out of the service, excuse me, and Al needed help once in a while. He was an older guy. He would go up north to get 1-inch thick plywood, and he had a station wagon. He would drive down here and he'd call me up and I'd help him load plywood into this door here. But as kids, I remember playing, and as I was saying, I'm a little kid. I'm maybe 5 years old, and there was an old guy siding this side of the house. What's interesting is this siding has been replaced. It was all vertical, and it was all redwood. I'm guessing it's still there. This whole thing could have been redone for all I know, but it looks the same other than the color. And he was putting the siding on here, and I was just bugging him. I was just pestering him with questions. And to get me out of his hair, he gave me a magnet. You guys have heard the story before if you've been here long enough. And told me to walk around the perimeter of this house, because it was all sand, it was all beach sand, and pick up all the nails that he dropped. And so I brought all the nails back to him after a while. It took me a while. And then he paid me $5. That's a big deal. You're 5 years old. What did it take me? 40 minutes or something to pick up all the nails? I made $5. Do the math. $5 and, 1971 or something. That's like $150 an hour today. A lot of stories. That was one of these bedrooms was Dez's room. The other one was, so that's the funny story, was the wife. A little bit of a piece of work here. She used to yell at my dad every season when he came down in the early spring and started up the ovens and made all the noise to start the business. And my dad would go out there and go, "What are you yelling at me for? The bakery was here. You decided to build a house behind my bakery." Oh my gosh. And I'll tell you another thing. This balcony here, so the first set of doors, it's kind of like it was a step-up dining room. And then over in the far corner that we can't see here was like this living room. And the living room was shag, like a white shag carpet. They had one of those like egg chairs. It was all like late 60s decor. And in the whole interior, like the kitchen was built in floor to ceiling cabinets, smooth with no pulls. They were you push them, they had magnetic catches on, which was pretty advanced for the time. All Formica. 2 tones of green. And all the doors in the house were coated with Formica. So it was very 1960s on the inside of this place. It was amazing. It was, you go in there, it was like being in a magazine. The coolest thing I ever saw at the time, like high style at that time. So keep in mind, right? Right there is that crazy house that captures the imagination as a little kid. This old school, I don't even know what you call it, next to this house, that was super modern for the time. Like, to have those two houses right next to one another and being a little kid, what that did to my imagination. I cracked a kid's skull open right here, actually. There was this kid. This is not a nice thing, but I remember this kid was picking on my sister, and I told him to stop it, and he wouldn't stop it, and he came at me, and I stepped on his foot, and I grabbed by his throat, and I pushed him over. I landed on him, I whacked his head on the ground, and cracked his head open. We were little kids. It wasn't good, but it gave me a reputation. Nobody messed with me after that. The memories are coming back. It's wild. I could just remember playing back here. My buddy had a basketball hoop up in the backyard there. He was always shooting hoops. He was a varsity basketball player, of course, after that. It's good childhood memories. And I came back here in 10th grade. I started living alone down here to go to high school. And we all were surfing here and everything else. It was just a great place to grow up. This video is going to be really friggin' long. And we're riding by the boardwalk here, which is nothing like what it used to be. It's hard to talk about it. I mean, none of this is like what it was back in the day, so I mean, I could talk to you about what was here, but, you know, if you weren't here, there's no point to it. But this right here, cruising, it's the thing. Beachcomber. Now, these two steak shops, the competing steak shops. This one here, this close one here on your left, my left. That's a fun place. That was always a fun place. I remember going there the first time, walking up at, like, you know, late, after the boardwalk closed, after work. It's 2 o'clock in the morning with a sign that said, you know, we're open till 4 a.m. or something. And the guy's like, yep, we're crazy. I was a young kid, really. It was fun. This has always been here, at least as far as I can remember. We get to the heights now, it's all still here. It's just different. I got a story about this parking lot here. I think it was this parking lot. My buddy's grandfather ran it, and he would close it, and then my buddy would come up and reopen it because he had the keys to the box and everything. So he would just make extra money later at night. And one night we're up here, we're working the lot. This is my buddy Todd. It was me and Carl. I'm using names because they're cool. So we're running a lot, and this punk comes by, and I don't know what's going on because me and Carl are having a good time. And 3 brothers. And I don't know what's going on, but the next thing we know, this guy's got Todd pushed up against the car. So me and Carl get behind him, and I hook him in a half Nelson. Carl grabs his other arm, and we didn't beat him up or anything. We just want him to calm down. This is all new. This is all new stuff here. And yeah, I'm telling the guy in his ear, I'm like, dude, you got to calm down. We'll let you go. And he's like, I'm going to kick your ass. My friends are going to kick your ass. We're like, whatever. We let him go, and he says, stay here. Don't go anywhere. Whatever. We don't care. We're the locals. You understand? So, well, about 20 minutes later, his car pulls up, and 8 guys come out. That's not an exaggeration. Maybe it was 2 cars. It was a bunch of dudes come out, and they just confront us. And they're talking all this shit. Now, I'm looking there. My friends expect me to do all the fighting. I was out of the core already, and I'm not taking any shit from anybody, you know. And instead of doing that, I look over out of my right, and I see a cop directing traffic about half a block away. So I just bolt for the cop. Now, to my 2 friends, I look like the biggest pussy there is, right? But I knew it was the right thing to do. I thought real quick. I just ran up to him and said, hey, we're running this parking lot, and these guys are starting to fight over here. You know, call for backup. And I run back, and I'm telling you, it was just steps. And within seconds, there was cops there. He was already on the radio calling it in. And the Seaside Heights cops put a smack down. Just smacked the crap out of these guys, and they all got arrested. And one of the things I forgot about the story was I told them, I said, if you come back with your friends, you're going to get arrested. That's exactly what happened. They all went to jail. And that, my friends, is why you don't screw around with the locals. You guys are going to like this. I go into the sawmill thinking, you know, maybe I'll have a beer, get something to eat real quick. It's 6:45 right now. So I'm standing at the urinal doing my business, my hands on my hips. I hear the toilet flush, and the stall door opens up, and I hear, "Is that Mike Zicopoulos? Was that a tripod in your pocket?" My tripod was open, hanging out. And it's my buddy. We all knew him in high school as Bush. Here, I'll show him to you. One of the greatest guys ever. One of our favorite people. You know, we're talking. Sorry about the jumping around. And, you know, I tell him about tomorrow night. He doesn't want to. He's like, I don't know. I don't want to go to Point Pleasant. That's the thing, right? So a lot of the people that are here, that live here year round, you know, especially if they're in Tom's River or right here in Seaside, they're not really interested in going to Point Pleasant. It's so funny. And because they're here all the time, they get to see all the people that never left. And then people like me, there's a lot of people that keep coming back. So, but you know, I hear there's a lot of people flying in from out of town tomorrow, right? Just remember, this is a high school reunion here tomorrow night. By the way, this is the old beach place. I forget what it was called. The bathhouse. We're driving by here. We're gonna get up on the boardwalk. We can ride on the boardwalk now. And I've got an original sign from the that's the Beach Patrol building. But I've got a sign from the old bathhouse that says no changing clothes or disrobing, $25 fine. I put that up in my house, which is ironic because I used to have a standing rule for all women, you know, within 15 minutes of being in the apartment, they were supposed to be naked. So anyhow, so we're sitting there, we're bullshitting, we're catching up, and I'm like, hey man, you got to go to this thing. So I think he's going to go, which will be fun. People think you're crazy if you're talking to your phone. So as we're talking, this other woman walks up, and we knew her from school. She was like a year or two older than us. And here's the irony, right? Again, apologies for the sound if the wind is ruining the mic here. I just spun it around, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Again, sorry if the sound is not good. I think there's some schmutz on the lens. Sorry. So if it's bad, I'll have to retell this. If you're still watching, thank you. She comes by and talks to us, and unfortunately, the story's about somebody who probably killed himself, so I couldn't interject any humor, you know. But the irony is, her hair, when she was young, we don't know, it was not like anything happened to her, but she had gray hair when she was young, and that's why she stood out. But now, she's older than me, and she dyes her hair dark. So, it's kind of ironic, right? When you were, you know, in your 20s, you had gray hair, and now you're in your 60s and you got black hair. To me, that just seems like a funny observation.
For you.
Yeah? What's this?
It's just a shirt.
Here.
What am I gonna do with that?
Your car's rolling away. It's rolling, dude.
I don't roll for a bit.
So's the camera. You just there's shaking Steve. That's the side of his skull there. Here, hold this. Let me hold the shirt out here. I need a T-shirt. I forgot to bring T-shirts. Oh, Richard.
Hope it fits you.
He's been cleaning the 50s. How you like that? That's professional camera work.
That's very nice.
This is the end of this.
They sent me all over the place, man.
This is the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's the next day. We're gonna cruise. There's the what I've been cruising around in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. One of my best friends in the world. I love this guy. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be good to one another.
That's the Jeep you're driving?